Well, it's Groundhog Day again. No, it's Jeff Deck, and I'm here to do another live reading from the Pseudo-Chronicles of Mark Huntley. We've been doing these readings every evening at 8 p.m. for a little while now. Hopefully we're all having fun and having some good times here. Hello, Mary. So just going to do a couple of quick entries tonight. You'll see they have a common theme, and then we'll get about the rest of our evening. How's that? Okay. So this brings us to Wednesday, September 22nd, 2004. Bound to a tiny pad. Hey there, wife stealer here. Oh, and let's not forget would-be murderer at 9 years of age. I love all my endearing nicknames. I think they indicate a real fulfilling life. The truth is, though, that I might have been a little quick to accept Gwen's story Saturday at face value, just because it went along with some vague feeling in my gut. Why she would lie, I don't know, but she obviously has. To believe that I stabbed some teacher 15 years ago, then got a mysterious treatment to forget about it from some private institute, then went on my merry way again? To believe all that is the first bold step on the path to insanity. That's a step I'm not quite ready to take. I won't take it. I stayed home from work today because I woke up with a serious ache in both eyes. I could barely see a damn thing. It did get better, but only this evening, really. I spent most of the day in bed, falling back on my mind's eye, playing MP3 lists on the computer. I'm sure there will be hell to pay tomorrow on the backlog of galleys, but I just don't have control over when my eyes decide to rebel. Gwen called earlier in the evening to check up on me. She hadn't known that I had a sick day today. She actually called me on Sunday, just after I posted, and then on Monday and Tuesday, too. Every day, just brief calls to see how things are going, as if she's afraid she pushed me over the edge by telling me her story, or seeing if I still swallow the lie. That would depend on if she believes her own story or not, whether she was actively lying to me or just passing on disinformation from a corrupted corner of her memory. I haven't asked. I try to keep the length of our phone conversations short. It's not that I wouldn't mind someone to talk to once in a while, just not her. Someone that I could trust, I guess. Times like this, I wish Rents were around. Back when we were growing up, I could always count on being able to talk to him when things got overwhelming or tired or dark. Giving him a call wouldn't be the same as sitting down with him in person, though. And down here, who do I have to talk to, really? Dale wouldn't get it. He's a fun guy, but he's Dale. When he sees a serious conversation coming, he runs the other way. And there's no one else at work. I'm just not close enough with Carrie or Deb. Lucy? There are so many reasons why I can't talk to her right now. And there ends Mark's magical network of friendship. DC can be a grand old time, believe you me. But it's hard to build real bonds with other people around here. On an informal level, I mean. Over on K Street, of course, you can buy pretty much as many friends as you want. You know what? As soon as my peepers recover, I want to change that. I want to start up some real hobbies and some real honest-to-God connections with people around here. I'm going to get out of my shell and become a real popular dude. I'm going to be Mark Huntley 2.0. I can't live like this, and I shouldn't. Well, I don't want to strain my eyes back into disability, so I should wrap this up. I do have some good news to report. I haven't noticed any more followers in the past few days. Whoever Joe Citizen was, he appears to have lost interest. I did hear a Rat's Kingdom song over the sound system in a restaurant downtown while I was passing by, but it was Death in the Yukon. Thank God. I still can't explain away that bizarre little run of you-know-what song. But maybe the explanation is as mundane as one person starting to sing the song and then others getting inspired to join in. One of those impromptu 80s night block parties. I'm sure my invite just got lost in the mail. Posted by Mark Huntley at 8:37 p.m. And then we move on to Thursday, September 23rd, 2004. Bound to a Tiny Pad 2. I'm sure I've made my way now onto Gerald Ryloff's shit list, regardless of how much it's actually my fault. I stayed home from work again today. It was another bad eye day. To say that my eyes were aching is like calling the Grand Canyon a piddly hole in the ground. They felt ready to pop out of my head. Like I honestly kept putting my hands up to them so they couldn't sail off and away to greener pastures. They feel a little better now, the only reason I'm able to write this, but today was rough, man. I was so desperate that I gave Dr. Leonsis a call to see if he would come check out my eyes. I offered to pay him extra, no questions asked. I was sure that I had a few items kicking around that I could sell off at Crown Pawn and Logan Circle. I don't do house calls, he said frostily. Why don't you go to the hospital? But I didn't want to do that. I excused myself and hung up. I'm barely hanging on expense-wise as it is. Yes, all right, those boozy lunches are killing me. Bribing Dr. Leonsis is one thing, but a hospital visit? That would do me in. You know how outrageous the cost is just to get looked at in an ER? Way beyond what my meager health insurance would cover. In any case, as I said, my eyes did get better as the day wore on. And I'm writing this with vessels intact, but what new horrors can I look forward to tomorrow? Look forward, right? Do you see how many of our metaphors rely on sight? I'm just trying to picture myself in permanent dark mode. I'd lose my job. Ryloff's not about to spring for a braille machine. I'd probably have to throw myself in the mercy of the state, and we all know how merciful the state is. And I'd be alone in this place, dictating to a tape recorder my increasingly unhinged thoughts as I stumble around and break dishes and step on CD cases. Someone would find me here. Maybe because of the smell. Or maybe before it got to that state, if Lucy were wondering about me, if she came to my door, found it unlocked. No, God, no. I'm not going to let this problem get to that point. If my eyes haven't improved when I wake up tomorrow, I'm going to drag myself to the hospital, maybe at Georgetown. If I let the med students experiment on me, maybe they'll give me a discount. Okay, had to take a break. Eyes ready for a little more duty. Another dream last night, and I'm sure you're tired of hearing about them. There are a few things more boring than someone describing their sleepy time adventures in obsessive detail. But it's just you and me to figure this out, reader. And Gwen, but somehow I trust you more. Again, I was in some dark, ominous setting, but this time I wasn't in the woods. I was standing on some hard, cracked surface, kind of like a parking lot that someone fell down on the job maintaining. The woman from the last dream, Lynn Samuelson, stood in front of me, wearing the same long dress as before. Even up close, I had a hard time figuring out the contours of her face. But that purplish aura she had, well, that was clear indeed. I could see that it roiled like a living mist around her. I lifted my hand like I was trying to protect myself from whatever evil influence her aura might try to exert over me. Then I saw that in my hand a knife had appeared. Now, here's a question. Did the knife show up because Gwendolyn told me that story? Like a suggestion implanted into the dream? Or was I actually remembering the incident as it happened? You might ask the same about my next action, because at that point I lashed out with a knife and savagely slashed the woman across her breasts. The blood wasn't red, it was ethereal, prismatic. No, that's just too much of an airy-fairy way to describe someone's liquid life force. Come on, but it's the best I can do for now. This not quite blood splashed me, and on impact the many colors scattered, and I shoved the blade into her belly. She screamed, but not in fear, not even necessarily in pain. In fury, that's what it was, I'm sure of it. In fury. I pulled the knife out, raised it again, and then I woke up, sweating, rattled, and with eyes a-poppin'. Gwen's call today was a little longer than the other ones had been because I let it go on. I wanted to know more about her version of what happened. So, with the dream in mind, I asked her, "You weren't there, were you? You told me the story like you were there, but I didn't see you." "No, I wasn't," she admitted. "You didn't see me. What, you had a dream about the actual attack?" "Yes, I did," I said, but I didn't share the details with her. Instead, I pressed her for details. "Apparently I stabbed Samuelson in, yes, the school parking lot. No one had been there to witness. Gwen didn't mention anything about prismatic blood or furious screams then. She hadn't been there. She'd arrived later after the ambulance had already come for Lynn Samuelson. She saw dry blood on the pavement. She saw me being led away. Then the police ushered her back." "And the blood," I said, "on the pavement. Did it look unusual at all?" "What do you mean?" "Like, out of the ordinary?" No, Mark, just regular old red blood. I missed the attack by a few minutes." I thought about it a moment. "Wouldn't it have turned brownish by then?" "Sure, I could be remembering it wrong," said Gwen. "Why?" I rebuffed her question, saying that my eyes were acting up again and that I had to go. I still didn't quite trust her motives or story for that matter, but my dream had shown me a parking lot, right? Or something that felt like a parking lot. That was a detail Gwen hadn't mentioned when she was first relating that story to me in Child Herald. The blood, though, was that just artistic license my brain was taking? Or did it point to the fact that my dream was a surreal riff on Gwen's original untrue story? Yeah, I'm still on the fence here. I keep going from yes to no to maybe so. This is all too much at once. I can only say that even with all these insane events, I still don't feel insane. Not in the membrane. Not in the heart of hearts. Here's hoping tomorrow won't bring continued agony, a case of bankruptcy, and or the divide giving me the boot and fanny. Posted by Mark Huntley at 10:29 p.m. Alright, well that is it for tonight. If you liked what you heard, you can buy me a coffee or check out my books via the links in my Instagram bio, or if you're watching this on YouTube later, in the description section of the YouTube. And you can check out the previous readings in this series on my YouTube channel. Well, until next time, you take care of yourselves, alright? Be safe out there.